What's up guys, it's Tokuyu here, and today I'm going to be telling you what I think the secret to becoming fluent in Japanese really is. What are my qualifications? I mean, at this point, I feel like I don't really need to prove to you guys that I'm fluent. What's this? Is this my JLPT-1 certificate? What is that doing there? I thought I put that away. I'm so sorry guys. Let's just get into it. Up till now, I've shown you my tips on how to study kanji, vocab, grammar, and fluently speak and listen to Japanese. Am I a great sensei or what? Yet despite all these great tips and the immense number of other amazing resources out there nowadays, I find that very few people actually become fluent in Japanese. But don't just take my word for it, let's ask my friends.
もしもし。
もしもし、一つだけ聞きたいことがあってさ。葵の知り合いの中には日本語ができる外国人は何人ぐらいいる？
ハリソンも入れたら3人ぐらいかな。
3人ぐらい、そうか。
日本語ができる外国人？
そう、日本語ができる。
2、3人ぐらいじゃない？
そっか、じゃあ俺、ブランダン、英語の先生、高校の英語の先生、それぐらいか。
そんぐらいしかいない。日本語ができる外国人、
そう、
含めて。
そう、俺含めて。
5人ぐらいかな。
5人結構多いね。
4人かな。
4人？
ちょっと怪しい。
1人怪しい。減ったか。バイバイ。What I say. And I don't think this lack of fluency is due to a lack of interest either. I'm often surprised by how many people I meet that mention they want to learn Japanese too because of anime, manga, music, technology, or whatever. So if it's not a lack of resources nor a lack of interest, why is fluency in Japanese so rare? Let me draw you something. This is a chart of my motivation when I started studying Japanese. It starts off really high up here. You could call this the honeymoon phase because everything about learning Japanese is just so great. I'm super pumped to be learning Goku's native language, and I'm learning super relevant words like konnichiwa and arigato. I know twice as many kanji as I did the previous week, and I feel like I'm making awesome progress. But then my motivation slides down to the reality phase. At this point, maybe I'm about 1 or 2 years into studying, and I'm slowly starting to realize that there are a lot of words in a language. And didn't I study this kanji already? It's slightly different. Okay. Once you start breaking out of the N4 or N5 level, everything you learn will start to become less and less relevant. For example, you'll start learning words like analysis or fireplace or Switzerland, which are words you need to know in order to be fluent, but you're not going to be hearing about an analysis of Swiss fireplaces every day. I also think this is the lowest point in motivation because you've already put in a fair amount of time studying Japanese, but it doesn't always show. I remember often trying to test myself by watching anime or Japanese shows without the subtitles, and I would get frustrated because I wouldn't be able to pick up anything. And I would think to myself, geez, I've been studying for a couple years and I'm still not fluent, which is a sucky feeling. Are you starting to understand why a lot of people don't become fluent? Motivation is great when you have it. It makes studying feel fun and easy. But the problem with motivation is that it comes and goes. And for me, it usually just goes. When you reach the low points in motivation, you are gonna need discipline.
Oh, yeah, I have that, no problem, eh?
Okay, hold up. I'm gonna show you what I think discipline means. Let's start with a quick example. Student A, super keen to become fluent in Japanese. Just can't wait. So they think, why not get there faster? So they choose to study 20 new kanji a day. But sometimes they get busy with work, with exams, with relaxing with the boys, you know how it is. So their study schedule looks like this. Sometimes they study, but they really need that spark of motivation to really get around to doing it. Now take student B. Now they know their bitch ass ain't gonna wanna study on some days, so they give themselves a modest but solid goal of studying 5 kanji a day. However, even when they have a tough day at school or they're just feeling tired, they'll always fit in their 5 kanji a day. So their schedule looks like this. Okay, now pop quiz. Which one do you think will become fluent faster? Think carefully. Now you may think,
well, student B has more study days, but student A is studying 4 times as many kanji per day. So I'd say it's about even.
Which is fair, but what do you think this will look like if we expand it to 6 months? Now who do you think will become fluent faster? Student A or student B? Student bitch ass, right?
Hey, that's not fair. Student A's barely studying anymore.
Exactly. See, I tricked you. Ha! Both students were actually me at some point. Bet you couldn't tell from my sick disguises though. See, early on, I just wanted to become fluent so bad that I once grinded out 40 kanji in one day. But it took hours, so it was clearly not sustainable. It relied too much on a huge burst of motivation that you just can't count on every day. But when I got more realistic and stricter with myself, that's when I started seeing real results. I want to show you something. A couple years ago, I decided to tackle the N1 kanji, but there are 1,240 of them, which is a bit intimidating. And I was going to university at the time, so I knew I would have days where I just don't feel like it. So I decided to set a realistic goal for myself and study 5 new kanji a day, plus review the previous 3 days of kanji. Okay, now this is my kanji study app, and this number in the middle here represents my highest streak of study days. I stuck with this study schedule throughout the entire school year for 286 days in a row, and I managed to study every single N1 kanji. And don't get it wrong, I don't have a genius-like memory. I didn't even memorize most of the kanji. I just got my first exposure to the characters, so it was easier to learn them again later on. So this is something anyone can do. This is something you can do. Let me show you one last thing. I'm not just flexing, this is for educational purposes only, I swear. Okay, maybe just this past year, I was doing job hunting for work in Japan, and I realized there are a lot of words that I didn't know.
それではこの仕事を通して実現したいことは何ですか？
実現はい、ちょうどいろいろなことを実現したいなと思ってて。So in February, I decided to pick up Anki in order to avoid any further embarrassment. If I heard a word I didn't know, I would add it to my Anki deck to review later. Now take a look at my Anki app. Each square represents one day, and if it's colored green, it means I studied vocab on that day. Since February, I've studied flashcards every single day until today. Minus that one day, but we don't talk about it because it's ugly and it ruins my beautiful streak. That's 210 days of studying vocab decks. Times my daily average of 136 flashcards reviewed, that's around 28,000 flashcards reviewed in total. Again, no supercomputer memory here, just repeated exposure through good old discipline. Now, why am I showing you guys this other than it being a great opportunity for me to flex? There's a famous saying in Japanese that I think perfectly illustrates studying Japanese. Chiri mo tsumoreba yama to naru, which means even dust, when collected, can become a mountain. And if there's anything I want you to take away from this video or this whole video series, it's this. The mountain of achieving fluency in Japanese is made by the little contributions you make each day. Sure, if you study a ton of material each day, you could build the mountain faster, but if you end up burning out after a couple weeks, it still won't come close to a little contribution made every day for years. So let's tackle the original question again. Why is fluency in Japanese so rare? It's not because people aren't capable. As I've shown, anyone can do it. I mean, who can't study 5 kanji a day, or even 2 kanji a day? I think the reason is people are impatient. A lot of people, including myself when I first started, just want to crank out Japanese and enjoy being fluent as quickly as possible. But learning Japanese is a humongous task, and you're not going to be able to crank her out after a couple months. It took me about 5.5 years to pass the JLPT N1, and there were periods where I wouldn't study for a while. So it's possible to become fluent in Japanese faster. Everyone's timeline will be different, but either way, it's going to take a long time and require, write this down, discipline and patience.
Oh, discipline and patience, that's so lame.
Yeah, they're not sexy answers. I know that. But hey, let's not forget to enjoy the journey. Learning Japanese has been one of the most, if not the most, rewarding experiences in my life. I've met so many friends and had so many doors open for me just because I'm learning Japanese. And now this is key to know, I didn't make most of my friends when I was already fluent. It was when I was still learning. You don't need to achieve fluency in order to get all the benefits of learning a new language. A lot of the new friends and experiences will come along the way. So if you're thinking about learning Japanese, hopefully now you have a better idea of what it takes to learn this language. So go out there and start collecting some dust. Congratulations on finishing this video series on how to become fluent in Japanese. As always, be sure to slap the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe to help support my channel. At the time of recording this video, I recently hit 500 subscribers on my channel, and I just want to thank all of you for the support. I did not think I would come close to 500 after only being on YouTube for 3 months. Anyways, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Toku out.
Hello.
Hello.
Sorry, I was just in the bathroom.
Stop taking a shit show. I need to make a video right now.
No, I was just